I have been, by day, a venture capitalist at Right Click Capital, and I do fortunately have both a technical background, which merged into a marketing background. My fellow co-director of the Founder Institute here in Australia and New Zealand is Paul Krajewski. Paul has got a wealth of experience when it comes to product management, having been involved in a number of startups, as well as leading teams across the region as they come to create high quality products for their users. At the Founder Institute, we're supported by Addison's, which is an Australian law firm. One of our long-standing partners and one of the mentors is Rebecca Dooley, and we're really glad to have them on board. I also wanted to mention Sleek, who is an accounting service that helps startups and businesses that are growing. Daniel has recently joined us as a FI mentor, and we're glad to have them on board. At the Founder Institute, we're thrilled to have fantastic mentors. I wanted to call out a number of our top-rated mentors, including Sorrel, Chris, Joanne, as well as Matt Brown, who is a VC. Founder Institute is the world's largest global network of startup accelerators, investors, and advisors. We are a pre-seed accelerator. So we are part-time, and you might have heard of a bunch of these startup schools or startup weekends. You might have heard of some full-time programs. And then once you do get funding from VCs, they want for you to be working on your business full-time. Founder Institute allows for you, whether you are full-time or part-time, to get initial traction and prepare for seed stage funding. It starts with the core program, and this is our flagship intensive program that runs for 4 months, after which there are a bunch of postgraduate advisory programs, including the Funding Lab and the Leadership Lab, and then there is access to funding. Now, what is this FI Core? Over this 4-month program, we want to make sure that you focus on one problem, one customer, one product with one killer feature, and one revenue stream. And you can see here this startup rule of one. It's a proven methodology to activate entrepreneurial potential because you are intensely focused. At the Founder Institute, we give you constant feedback. So over the 14 weeks, there is a lot of feedback. There's one-on-one sessions with Paul, with other mentors, as well as me. Plus, you'll get to participate in peer-to-peer working groups. Now, what we want to do is give you actionable feedback, and that's why we've built a system that has dashboards. There are sessions where you get major reviews from multiple mentors, and there are customized sprints. Let's hear from a founder who took part from it, Gagan Biyani, a friend. He says that the network is amazing. There is someone at FI who can get me in, and without Founder Institute, his business, Udemy, may never have raised money. Here are some of the FI portfolio companies. Folks who finish Founder Institute get access to a wealth of alumni benefits, and it adds up to over 3 million Australian dollars in partner discounts. Founder Institute is hard. And why? It's because building a fundable startup is even harder. Jason Calacanis, if you've listened to his podcast This Week in Startups, says it's the most raw street program out there for startups. Now, if you're wanting to learn more about the Founder Institute and your own personality type, how it might work as an entrepreneur, get this free preview report at fi.co/join/DNA, and you'll learn more about some of your traits after you do the test and who you might want to be paired with as you build a successful business. And one of the Mad Libs that the Founder Institute has come up is this: my company is developing to help a defined audience solve a problem with a secret sauce. So here's the example. My company, the Founder Institute, is developing a startup accelerator to help idea stage and pre-seed entrepreneurs, a very clear defined audience, solve this problem, being build a fundable business with, this is what we do specially. Let's have a quick look at a bad example. SpaceX is developing, look at this, mumbo jumbo, liquid oxygen propelled levitation enablers to help the human race exit the Earth's atmosphere with more gadgets and flashing lights than anyone else. Let's look at what the good example is. It's developing space rockets to help governments, large private organisations, telcos launch satellites, perform other space operations at a greatly reduced price. That's the problem. Launching rockets has for a long time been very expensive. Why? With reusable rockets saving as much as 95% of the billions that can be spent on a single launch. Now you might say, oh, what if I've got something that's more than one sentence? Well, how about this? Similar, company, define offering, define audience, solve a problem, secret sauce. Now, which market are you in? How big is the market? Who are some of the competitors or comparators? What do you do differently? Where is your business now? What are you looking for? It doesn't always need to be money. It could be an introduction to a customer. It could be someone who is an expert in a particular algorithm. And what would you do with them? I wanted to share that our next cohort is going to be starting in February 2026. Paul and I have been preparing for this. We're very excited about the next group of founders coming in, as well as a bunch of very well-regarded mentors who'll be joining us. And we are holding a number of events in the lead up to this. So you can check it out, fi.co/events.